So my name is Giselle and I'm a rising junior at KGC, and this past year I took AP World History, and it was one of the hardest things I have done in my high school experience so far. So if you're watching this video, I assume it's because you're deciding whether or not you want to take AP World History, or maybe you already decided and you just want some advice. So I'm here to help you with that. So I remember as a freshman when I was signing up for classes, I saw this thing. It was for social studies and it said either World History or AP World History, and I was like, oh okay, you know, I'll take AP. It'll give me extra GPA points. It doesn't seem that hard. But honestly, it was my first AP class that I have ever taken, and I wasn't ready. I'm just giving you fair warning. AP World History is hard. And unfortunately for me, I didn't have anyone from the previous class making advice videos for me, but you will. So hopefully this helps you out and give you a couple of tips and tricks to try and remember some of the harder stuff from AP World History. So my first piece of advice for those of you taking AP World History is that your notes are everything. They're gonna get you through almost every single test. You know, as long as you take good notes, you get out what you put in. So if you put a lot of effort into your notes, then you'll probably get good results on your tests if you study them. So this is my binder for AP World History, and it's like 1.5 inches, and it's like full with notes and stuff. And that's not even what the final review set that she gave us, but like the copies from the Princeton review. But it has like all my study guides from chapter 1 to like chapter 30, which is a lot. So as I mentioned earlier, you will have to read a chapter a week from this textbook, and along with every chapter you have to fill out a study guide. And the study guides, normally, since this one is one from one of the later chapters, like the last ones that we did, we had to pick our own words for the flashcards, but normally you have a list of 20 to 40 words that you have to make flashcards for. And so it's really important to pace yourself when you do it, and to make sure that you gradually work on it instead of trying to work on it like the day before it's due. To help you out, Ms. Kubos puts like different things that you can do every day to make sure that, you know, you're working on it slowly throughout the week and you don't like stress yourself the night before. So on your notes, you want to make sure you're like really detailed, and your packet will most likely look like this if you're taking AP World History with Ms. Kubos. And you want to make sure to write as much as you can. So I filled up the whole packet with just notes upon notes upon notes. So in the first couple weeks you will have to do just one chapter a week, but as you get like further into the year, you will eventually start doing 2 chapters a week, which it sounds harder, but in the end it's actually a lot better because you will finish the book sooner and then you will have more time to study at the end. So it all works out. I mean, it's more work then, but then you do get more study time before the big test. So one really helpful thing to help you remember your notes is if you write them in your own words and you don't copy word for word from the book, because you'll probably remember more what you wrote than what some old guy wrote, you know? So another piece of advice is that if you chew a piece of gum while studying, and you chew the same flavor gum while you're taking the test, you have a better chance of remembering some of the stuff that you studied because your like brain will be stimulated by it. So there's some scientific help for when you're studying. Okay, so there are a lot of videos on YouTube that will help you with the test. There's also Crash Course World History by John Green, which is a really good way to study, but I wouldn't rely on it too much because you still want to study your notes and stuff. But like I said, there's a lot of videos, and one of my favorite ones is Black Death, and it's to the like sound of Hollaback Girl by Gwen Stefani, and my AP World History teacher showed it to me, and I think it's really funny, so I thought I would show you guys. So here you go. So that was just a small preview of this song. You can just type it up on YouTube, look up like that, Hollaback Girl, and it'll really help you remember some stuff about the Black Plague if you can't seem to get it in your head. Okay, and another video to help you remember a bit of how China spread their power and stuff is you can look up Mean Girls Theory, AP World History, and it'll give you this really cool thing how it connects like Regina George and them to China and how it compares them.
The idea hit me. Regina George is China, Gretchen Wieners is Japan, Karen Smith is Korea, and Katie Heron is Vietnam. So let's start with the almighty ruler, Regina George, also known as China. In the movie, Regina is the head plastic, dominating high school with their power. When we compare to China in the time period of 500 to 1450, they have a lot of similarities. They both isolated themselves from the outside world, since there was no better example for them to admire.
Okay, so there's a channel on YouTube called So What's Your Point Kid, and they have about maybe 5 videos that talks about different time periods from like world history, and they're like remixes to songs like That's What Makes You Beautiful, Single Ladies, Moves Like Jagger, Forget You, and Call Me Maybe, and they're really helpful and catchy, and I think these are a really good idea because they help you remember some of the stuff and it gets it into your head. So I would definitely recommend checking those out. Okay, so one of the hardest things that I encountered in AP World History was trying to remember all the different Chinese like dynasties. So I do have a song for you. I'm not gonna sing it, but it's how to memorize China's major dynasties, and it's pretty catchy. It's not that hard to remember. So if you listen to it a couple times, you get the hang of it.
Only if we sing it together. Okay. 长寿秦汉，长寿秦汉，隋唐宋，隋唐宋，元明 King Republic, 元明 King Republic, 毛泽东，毛泽东. So.
Okay, so I know the song was a little bit corny, but I guarantee you that if you listen and sing to the song like at least once a day, every day, you'll be in the middle of the test and it'll pop into your head and it'll probably help with a couple of the questions there. And unfortunately for me, I didn't find out about the song until after the test, but if I had known sooner, I totally would have tried to remember it because it seems like a big help. Apart from the song, I also have a few mnemonic devices to help you remember a couple of things from world history. So for the main causes of World War I, you can use the acronym MAIN, which is Militarism, Alliance System, Imperialism, and Nationalism. So the beginning of those is MAIN, which spells out Maine. So I have another one to help you remember the different parts of the Islamic commandment. So it would be you people cheer for pizza, and so the first letter of each word is the first letter of an Islamic commandment. So few would be faith, people would be prayer, cheer would be charity, for would be fasting, and pizza would be pilgrimage. So this would be like really helpful for you. Like if you're in the test, just think about a few people cheering for pizza, which I know that's wrong because I mean, who doesn't cheer for pizza? but it helps you out, you know, to remember the different parts of the Islamic commandment. So on the AP test, there will be 3 different essays that you have to write in order to prove your understanding of the subject. One will be a DBQ, which is a document-based question. The other will be a compare and contrast essay. And the other one is a CCOT, also known as changes and continuities over time. And honestly, for me, the hardest one is probably the CCOT, because not only do you have to know like about one time period, it's like how it changes and how it stayed the same in a certain region, and you also have to have a global context analysis for the essays, which is what was happening in the region, not what was happening in another part of the world, sorry, at the same time. And for the DBQ, you have to add like additional documents and point of view. So it's really important to remember this and to really study up on your outlines for each of the essay before the test, so that you know what to put in each essay. And Ms. Kupos will totally like give you a lot of practice on those essays, and she will give you some constructive criticism and a lot of feedback so that you can do your best on the test, because these essays will make or break your score. So as for AP World History overall, you should take this as a really good learning opportunity. If this is your first AP class, then you can learn what works and what doesn't work for you, as in studying and taking notes and stuff, because I know some people, the cramming the night before thing works really well for them, like pulling an all-nighter, but as for me, that doesn't work at all, because if I try to stay up all night and study, I won't remember the information because I'll be asleep during the test. So I'm one of those people that needs to go to sleep early before the test and just get a good night's rest, and that's how I do my best. That rhymed. But yeah, and even if you don't pass the test, it's okay. You don't need to worry, because you'll still learn a lot from the class, and even if you don't really remember the content, you'll learn how you are as a student, if you're like ready to take more AP classes, if AP is for you, and it'll really just help you with life, you know, with time management skills and organization. And I really do think that AP classes just give you more than just content knowledge. So yeah, don't stress yourself too much if you feel like you're not going to pass the test, or if you're really struggling in the class, because no matter what, Ms. Kupos will always be there to support you, and she is an amazing teacher who will always have your back. I remember after the test, she talked to all of us, and she said that no matter what the score was, she will never be more proud of us than she was at that moment. And it really made me feel good, because for a second I forgot about the scores and how I did in the test, and I just remembered all that we've been through in that class and how it was finally over and we made it, you know? We survived AP World History. So hopefully with this advice, it makes the class a little bit easier for you, and you too can survive the almost impossible journey that is AP World History. So on that note, I leave you with a good luck with your class, because you will need it. Just remember to do your best, don't give up, and when it seems like it's just too much and too hard, just think about all the money you'll be saving when you pass the test and you don't have to take it in college, you know, to pay like thousands of dollars for this one class. So take advantage of the opportunity, study, do your work, pay attention. I mean, it's not hard if you try.